Well, the first game was so nice. Who's up for a nightcap? It's the boys' 41st District Soccer Championship. It all comes down to this, and we've got the action for you. Stay with us here on Cable 10. Hello again from Western Hills. The 41st District Boys Soccer Tournament has come to its natural conclusion, and that conclusion is the championship game between Great Crossing and Frankfort High. Great Crossing winning on night one against Western Hills, the hosts, 2-0. And Great Crossing moved on to take on Frankfort High, who overcame Franklin County. Great Crossing sneaking that one by Western Hills. A hard-fought game that, but Great Crossing scoring that one. And on the other side, here's Frankfort High, and a goal that Alex Gonzalez is going to remember for the rest of his life. A beautiful outside-the-foot chip that brought that game to an end in the first overtime against Franklin County. The Panthers were down for a lot of that game. Gonzalez was the one that managed to balance out the scoring and send it into overtime, where the Panthers came out victorious. And the Panthers look to defend their 41st District crown from last year against the team that they wanted over Great Crossing. We'll have a look at the teams and the records and what we think is going to happen, and then we're going to kick it off. Stay with us here on Cable 10.
Game of the Week is brought to you by David Tolles Auto Pro. You're in good hands with David Tolles Auto Pro. Bring your vehicle to us for the best repairs in the Frankfort area. 2 locations at 1348 Versailles Road and 515 Duncan Road. And check us out at davidtollesautopro.com.
In 1972, a young David Tolles vowed to jump the Kentucky River on his big wheel. He did not make it. We can rebuild him. We have the capability to make the world's perfect mechanic. Better, stronger, faster. David Tolles Tires and Auto Service on Duncan Road.
Game of the Week is brought to you by J.O. Osborne with the Franklin County Farm Bureau. The Franklin County Farm Bureau's J.O. Osborne wishes all of our local teams a healthy, competitive, and successful season. J.O. and Kentucky Farm Bureau have been insuring Frankfort since 1943. With them on your team, when you experience a loss from an accident or storm, it can be a real game changer.
Hey, that was my friend Logan's soccer coach. Why'd you wave at her?
Because she's also our Kentucky Farm Bureau insurance agent. She's the one that helped us get our house fixed after that big storm last year.
Well, that explains the name of their team.
Which is?
The Storm.
Good one.
Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance. Big on commitment.
Good evening and welcome to Western Hills High School for the boys' 41st District Championship game between the Great Crossing Warhawks and the Frankfort High Panthers. And now for your starting lineups. First, for Frankfort High, number 24, William Coblin. Number 22, Parker Coblin. Number 15, Stephen Beebe. Number 13, Ethan Clark. Number 11, Alex Gonzalez. Number 10, William Noberto. Number 9, Bryson Cox. Number 7, Elijah McDaniel. Number 6, Jacob Tracy. Number 5, Caleb Tracy. And in goal, 00, Benjamin Schrader. Head coach, Austin Farmer. And now, your starting lineup for the Great Crossing Warhawks. Number 7, Lucas Smith. Number 5, John Redmond. Number 22, Evan Purcell. Number 20, James Crone. Number 19, Thomas Smith. Number 17, Carter Dasher. Number 16, Tyler Andrews. Number 12, Zach Hendricks. Number 9, Ethan Bell. Number 3, Connor McIntosh. And number 2, Ryan Payne. Head coach, Nick Maxwell. If you are able, please stand for the playing of our national anthem. It is located behind the scoreboard.
The teams are on the field. Great Crossing, the number 1 seed, coming in with the green and blue hoops on their shirt. Fantastic uniform, I gotta say. For the Warhawks, they are the number 1 seed, as I mentioned, coming in with a record of 15-3 after Monday night's victory over Western Hills to earn their spot in this championship game. The Warhawks led in scoring, and it's a dead heat between James Crone, number 20, and Ethan Bell, number 9. Ethan Bell scoring alongside his battery mate there, Evan Purcell. Those were the 2 goal scorers for Great Crossing against Western Hills. On the other side, Frankfort High wearing the white shirts with the blue letters and the orange shorts, as you can see, as we're treated to the light show that we've had the entire week here at Western Hills. You've been a great host for this 41st District tournament. Pacing the Panthers of Frankfort High in scoring has been Stephen Beebe with 11 goals so far, 5 assists this season. But climbing to second after 2 goals in Tuesday night's victory over Franklin County was Alex Gonzalez. Now he sits with 9 goals and 6 assists on the season, leading the team in assists. And it'll be interesting to see if tired legs play a part for Frankfort High. They've had a day less rest than Great Crossing, but this one's underway as Great Crossing immediately fires a rocket into the corner. And that will be a goal kick for the Panthers. I wonder if that's a little bit of gamesmanship on the part of Great Crossing, if they want to get the Panthers in possession and then try to press them. Because that is, if you watch the game back on Tuesday night for Frankfort High against Franklin County, that is where the Panthers had a little bit of a struggle in possession. They just weren't able to really transition from one side of the field to the other without the Flyers being able to harass them and take the ball away. Great Crossing now on the attack on the far side. Here's Crone trying to find Purcell, and that one is cleared out. Excuse me, that was Ryan Payne, number 2. I saw 22, but it was 2. Here's the head down. McDaniel getting his foot to that for Frankfort High, number 7 in the white, playing left back. As Lucas Smith, the opposite number, number 7, gets ready to take the throw. And it comes in nearly back-heeled in accidentally that time by Evan Purcell. That'll be a goal kick for Frankfort High. Frankfort High coming in with a record of 9-10 on the season after the victory against Franklin County. And that, so far, we've seen a lot of good soccer, but that has been the game of the tournament. And that goal kick finding its way to McDaniels. Frankfort High trying to just play it forward into space right through the midfield, going right at Great Crossing. The Warhawks coming the other direction. Here's Payne, dribbling around defenders. He laid it off for John Redmond, starting this game, number 5 for Great Crossing. He had a little bit of a shot, but nothing to really trouble the goal of Benjamin Schrader, the goalkeeper. Schrader doing such a wonderful job. One of the biggest reasons that Frankfort is in this game and have the ability to defend their title in this tournament. And what a game that was last year. Just remembering Frankfort High coming from behind to take down Great Crossing. That game was back and forth the entire way. Frankfort High taking the 41st district, along with having that great run in the All-A Classic. Great Crossing able to control the midfield so far. Here's Redmond. Redmond going up against Parker Coblin, and that'll be, I believe it's going to be a goal kick, or excuse me, a corner kick, our first of the game. They take it short. That one lofted in and cleared, but Great Crossing back on it. Now Frankfort High with a chance to break. Here's Gonzalez. That one tipped out from behind. Getting a foot to that was Connor McIntosh. Now Great Crossing headed the other direction, brushing off the defender. And that through ball collision on the near side. And that will roll into the hands of Ben Schrader. No one seems to be the worse for wear for that collision, so we'll move on. There's the ball over the top. Running onto it is Caleb Tracy, or excuse me, this is Bryson Cox. I apologize, I saw a number 5, but it was actually number 9. The header by Coblin. Now down the left side. Here comes Redmond shaking off the defender. He's got a chance to have a shot. Tried to get it onto his left foot. Wasn't sure whether he was looking to shoot or cross, but either way, it didn't happen because of the intervention of, it looked like, Elijah McDaniel over there, who has switched sides from his original position. Here's the throw in from Smith. It's headed backwards. Coming in to clear it is Jacob Tracy, who had a fantastic second half, really making a lot of key interventions to keep Frankfort High from conceding another goal. He had a wonderful battle with Eric Pfeiffer of Franklin County. Those two going at it pretty much the entire second half. Both teams just feeling each other out a little bit. 6 minutes gone so far. There's BB outside of the foot pass, does not find its way over to Bryson Cox. BB managed to get it back, but his forward ball is taken away by Great Crossing. And that is going to fall out, and keeping it in is Jacob Tracy. That ball over the top. Nobody really able to establish possession. That through ball nearly found its way to the feet of Ryan Payne. Great Crossing with the chance here. John Redmond, who I do not think played Monday night, but he's been really active so far for the Warhawks. That's going to be a throw for Great Crossing. The Warhawks sharing at least one color with their fellow soccer team in Georgetown, Lexington SC, who play their games for the moment, for the time being, at least for this season, at Georgetown College. Going up to try to head it back in front of goal was Evan Purcell, but that one will result in a goal kick. Evan Purcell, the senior defender, as I mentioned, one of the two Warhawks to find their names on the score sheet against Western Hills. That deflection might set up really nicely here for Great Crossing, but that through ball covered well, I think, by the back line for Frankfort High. You've got Caleb and Jacob Tracy along that back line, along with number 22 there, Parker Coblin, and Elijah McDaniel. That is the starting back line for Frankfort High, with Benjamin Schrader in goal. These teams just kind of getting the measure of each other right now. They both seem to kind of want to do the same thing. Great Crossing had a little bit more of the possession so far, but Frankfort High has maybe been the one that looks to break a little bit faster. Not much between them so far. Are we in for a bit of a chess match tonight? There's the header from distance. That was William Norberto, number 10, getting his head to it. He had a couple of acrobatic attempts at goal in the first game. That one clipped the back of his head. He nearly got that on target. That would have been quite a feat from that distance. But it's very likely that Zach Hendricks in that goal for Great Crossing always had that one covered. Here's Redmond chipping the ball up. Payne with a volleyed attempt that nearly cleared the crossbar. coming in to make an intervention there was Jacob Tracy. I thought maybe for a second that he might have gotten some contact on that. It looks like we had an offside call there. I didn't see it, but there's a lot of stuff I don't see that happens. So, moving on. Hendricks puts his foot behind it. The ball comes down and finds its way to Ethan Clark, number 13, playing in the center of midfield. Clark is kind of taking on that number 6 role for Frankfort High so far, from what I can see, just sitting right in front of the defenders, trying to be the link between the defense and the midfield. There's Bryson Cox, the junior. Ball comes to Norberto, nearly turns the defender, but here comes great crossing the other direction. Still early so far. These teams scoreless. That one cleared into the air by Jacob Tracy, and that'll go out. That'll give us a chance to kind of look back at the last time these two teams faced each other. Great Crossing coming out on top 2-0. That was at Great Crossing back on August 22nd. As I mentioned, for the Warhawks, James Crone and Ethan Bell all knotted up at 10 goals apiece on the season. Ethan Bell also chipping in 16 assists. So he has really been the playmaker as well as the finisher. I mentioned that game between these two teams back on the 22nd of August. Scoring for Great Crossing was Ethan Bell and Ryan Payne. Both players starting tonight for Great Crossing. That was Purcell sliding and keeping that one away, as running onto it and having to do a little hurdling to avoid Purcell was William Coblin, the senior for Frankfort High. Coblin involved in that goal that closed the game out on Tuesday night. This will be a throw for Frankfort High, as after a couple of minutes of conceding possession to Great Crossing, Frankfort High really starting to get a foothold in this game. You're seeing them get into positions that they want to be in. That cross from McDaniel hooks a little bit too far to the right. That one over the top. The flag is up against Payne. He had to chase after it just to be sure, but I think he pretty much knew, given his position, when the ball deflected and was lofted over the top, that he was going to be offside. Gonzalez was trying to head that into the path of Norberto and nearly got there. So far, both the Great Crossing and Frankfort High defensive lines have really been pretty disciplined so far. Not really seeing anybody get caught out of position, getting caught too far upfield. I think both teams kind of a little cat and mouse maybe, a little wait and see. Jacob Tracy coming across and doing a nice job of covering, realizing that Caleb Tracy had pursued and was caught upfield. Ball bounces to Beebe, chips it forward. Alberto has a chance at it. Little rumbling, stumbling, bumbling, but coming up with it is Zach Hendricks. Nice little inventive chip there, splits a couple of defenders. Of course, Beebe last year was one of the goal scorers in that championship game. It was one of the more memorable 41st District soccer games we've ever seen here on the Game of the Week, and I would have to put the one between Frankfort High and Franklin County that we saw on Tuesday night in that category as well. It's coming across to make the stop as Parker Coblin. We've played just about 17 minutes here, and neither team has looked to the bench as of yet. All our starters still in the game. If you're just joining us tonight, our opening game, Great Crossing girls taking the girls 41st District tournament 9-0 over Franklin County. Both of those teams will move on to the 11th region tournament as Caleb Tracy on the receiving end of a tackle there, but bouncing right back up, and he needed to because Great Crossing looking to push the tempo. Ball into the chest, and coming onto it is Gonzalez, and he had just strayed a little bit offside. Did he get his chip? No, he did not. Let's take a look. He had already heard the whistle by that point, and I think he probably knew he was just about a yard offside when that ball was played. Let's see this. And yeah, he had just looking at the line, because it's not just the defender closest to him, it's the entire line, and the two Great Crossing defenders on the far side were kind of in lockstep there, and he was just a split second early starting his run was Alex Gonzalez. Frankfort High definitely looking to get him out in space, as he was the hero from a goal scoring perspective on Tuesday night. Here he is again. He's got a chance, got some room, chips it over, trying to get the cross over to Norberto. Zach Hendricks doing a good job of holding his line, snagging that out of the air and intercepting the danger. You're starting to see where these two teams really want to get after each other in terms of how they plan on attacking. Frankfort High's had a bit more success in the first half this time around than they did before against Franklin County. That ball from Beebe, he was looking to find Gonzalez long. That one snuffed out by Great Crossing, and they want to come the other direction with it. We've got a little bit of the old Route 1 style of just hoof it long and give your striker something to run onto, employed by both teams here so far. Logan Smith lines up to take this corner for Great Crossing. It's a throw, actually. I thought it was a corner. That one goes off the back of Jacob Tracy and is finally cleared out by Panther. And that'll be a throw. Berto with some acrobatic footwork. That seems to be one of his calling cards. That one just wasn't able to clear the back of his head. We've got a substitution coming in for the Warhawks. A couple of new players coming in. Let's take a look at this. Trickeration might have tricked himself a little bit. Looked nice nonetheless. I couldn't have done it. Ball taken away by Nebraska. He's trying to find Gonzalez in some space. Nice heads up defending by Great Crossing to be aware of that, because you can tell that that is the first option in the playbook, so to speak, for Franklin County. As soon as they get a touch, they're looking for that run off the shoulder of the back line from number 11. That ball straight through the middle, collected by Payne. There's the ball through. And that one cleared out, and that'll be a corner as McDaniel wasn't able to get it on the friendly side of the corner flag. And Ethan Bell will line up to take this corner. It's Great Crossing loading players into the box. That one chipped up, headed out by Baby. The return shot nearly finds the feet of a Warhawk. Payne nearly able to flick that one on, but I think he would have been offside anyway, because I'm not sure that touched a Panther on the way through. That one headed out by Coblin. There's Tyler Andrews with the throw in for Great Crossing. Here's Payne. Excuse me, that's Ethan Bell, number 9. Some fancy footwork. That will be a corner as James Crone, the senior midfielder for the Warhawks, earns a corner for his team. And Great Crossing starting to pile up the numbers of set pieces that they've had so far. They've got a few people on the front end of the box. Gonna try to crash the gates here. Ball goes up, getting his head to it, and nearly scoring was Evan Purcell. That ball was right on the money. Purcell got exactly to the spot he needed, got the contact he wanted, and just couldn't hook it on the left side of the goal in this case. And that would have definitely been a goal, because Schrader was absolutely frozen in place in that Frankfort High goal. As it stands, nearly 24 minutes played, excuse me. You might have heard that silence as the gears were turning. There's this quick shot, and getting down to save that was Schrader. But now, almost 25 minutes played as we see that replay. That was Ethan Bell. A lot of pace behind that shot. Heads up by Schrader to be able to just get down and smother that one. There's the through ball. Bell runs onto it, waits for it, and gets it. Chip shot first time, just towed that one. Really didn't get the angle that he was looking for. It looked like he might have been trying to just poke it into the far corner. But Frankfort High with a couple of attempts on goal, nearly getting Alex Gonzalez free, and now great crossing over the last 3 or 4 minutes has really regained control. As they take this stoppage of play as a chance to get a substitute into the game. Here come the Warhawks. You saw Daniel Hananoa on the far side, number 10, who just came into the game not long ago. Big collision there in the middle of the field between, I believe that was William Coblin. Gonzalez trying to find Alberto in space, and another big collision. Coblin again going to the turf. And that will be a throw as these teams maybe just starting to get a little bit tired. We've played just over 26 minutes here. Still nothing between these two. Here come the Warhawks. Saw number 25 there for the Warhawks, whose name I do not have on my roster. Schrader puts it in the air, but it makes it to number 25. It might be Romario Hernandez. I don't know that for sure, but I'm just guessing based on the similarity of the number in terms of the way it looks. 35 is where Romario Hernandez is listed on the roster, and that's the only similar number I can see to 25. And that is an explanation of my thought process that no one asked for, and that is going to be an own goal as the ball goes into the mouth of the goal and went all the way across the face of goal, and nudging that one on was Evan Purcell. To see jumping for it, and actually that was a dual own goal, unfortunately, by the Tracys. Came off the back of the head of Caleb Tracy and right onto the foot of Jacob Tracy. An own goal opens up the scoring, 1-0, great crossing. And between the boys and the girls, that is the third own goal that the Warhawks have been the beneficiaries of so far tonight. That's just one of those unlucky bounces, unfortunate for Frankfort High, but now they're looking up at a deficit. There's the shot from distance, and Schrader able to wrap that one up. Let's see this again, just a chip shot corner. Caleb Tracy just trying to get anything to it. Just a slight glance off of his head, but that put enough direction on it. And before Jacob Tracy could really get himself sorted out, that one was already in the back of the net. Come the Warhawks. That one laid off well. The first touch just a little bit too heavy for Ethan Bell that time. If he had managed to get that into his feet a little more cleanly, he would have had a very good chance at doubling the lead for the Warhawks. Great crossing, coached by Nick Maxwell. As I mentioned, 15-3 on the season. Hananua lays it into the path of Cash Bourget, who's in the game now. He tried to chip it in, but it had gone over the line, so that'll be a goal kick. .30 minutes gone, 10 left in this first half. An own goal for Frankfort High. The difference so far is Great Crossing ahead 1-0. And yes, it was an own goal, but get Great Crossing credit. That was a header put into a dangerous place, or a corner kick put into a dangerous place. And that is what you're looking for on those corners. You want to get it to a place where the defenders are going to struggle to get it pointed in a direction that is not headed towards the face of goal. Some nice sportsmanship there between a couple of guys who've had really solid tournaments so far. Ethan Bell and William Coblin. Bell's going to have another corner. Is he going to try to put it in the same place? That one headed clear by Bebe. Nice move by Bell, the cutback. He's got some space to run into, and just a little bit too heavy. An intervention there by William Coblin, I think, is really what made that one go out. And some nice defending there by Coblin, understanding where he was and having the attacker. That's what you want as a defender. You want to limit the space. You want to dictate the space that the attacker has to work with, and that was a nice example of that by Coblin. That'll be a throw for Great Crossing between the benches. That one chipped up into the air. Running onto it is Bell, and that is kicked off, and still waiting for the call. That'll be a goal kick, as they say. Jacob Tracy, number 6, coming across to cover, was able to deflect it off of the foot of Ethan Bell. Schrader slipping as he took that goal kick. Here's Hananoa. Little 1-2 there, and Schrader gonna be able to pick that one up. And speaking of Schrader, you might have heard me flinch there. That was the reaction of being triggered by a lifetime full of turned ankles. And I'm sure I'm not the only one out there that saw that and had the same reaction, but luckily it looks like Schrader is no worse for the wear. Schrader this time, no messing about, just puts his foot through it. But if you'll notice, Great Crossing has really kind of taken command of the midfield, as Frankfort High's entire midfield having to come deeper and deeper towards their back line just to be able to get a foot on the ball, and that leaves so much space between the midfield and their attacking two up top. For about the last 10 minutes, Gonzalez and Alberto have been a bit isolated up there. Here's Bell, chips it and sneaks it in. What a finish. That's special. Ethan Bell doubling the lead for Great Crossing with a spectacular bit of individual skill here. You see players trying this in practice. Amazing skill just to evade 2 defenders and just chips the ball into the side netting. That is a highlight reel goal if I've ever seen one. Ethan Bell with the right-footed curler at the most acute of angles. 2-0, Great Crossing on top. And really, over the past 10 minutes, ever since the goal, it's kind of been all great crossing. Frankfort High just not able to get the ball out of their side of the field for any significant amount of time. Great Crossing doing a great job of pressing as soon as the ball gets into that Frankfort High midfield area. But we've seen some amazing goals in this tournament, and that one ranks right up there with the best of them. That'll be a goal kick for the Panthers. With 5 minutes and change left, 2-0 the score, and Frankfort High maybe a little bit shell-shocked right now. But we've seen this team claw their way back from deficits before. We saw it happen just a couple of nights ago against their crosstown rivals, the Flyers. Here's Norberto. He's got a little bit of space, tries to chip it over the top of the midfield for Great Crossing, and that collision between Norberto and Connor McIntosh, the junior, who you see there for Great Crossing. That ball takes a wicked deflection and finds its way to Coblin. There's Bebe. Bebe just powering down the left channel, still with it. Trying to work it onto his right foot and is tripped up just outside of the box. They'll get a free kick. And he's making the argument that it was over the line, but just from my first view of it, I think that's probably just about the right call. Let's see the replay here. Keep an eye on the black line here. All the contact happens about 1.5 yards outside the box. Great call by the official. So it's going to be a free kick just off to the side for Franklin County, or excuse me, Frankfort High. Knew I'd do it at least once. And it's going to come in, chipping it into the middle of the corner, and almost getting inside that right post is the header by Beebe. Let's see this again. Nice little chip just in the middle of the box. Excuse me, I believe that was Bryson Cox getting his head to it. And we've got a yellow card here. I didn't see who it was delivered to. I guess looks like number 18. That's who I'm seeing picking up the card. Or no, he would have come into the game for the person. It was Bryson Cox who got the yellow card there, and Philip Kittrell, the freshman, his replacement, as when you get a yellow card at this level, you have to come out of the game. Which I think is probably a good rule. It helps cooler heads prevail a little bit. And let's take a look at the replay. And probably some kind of magic word uttered there by Cox that earned that yellow card. Not happy with one call or another. Pressure back on. Great Crossing trying to get a third. Coming out to grab that one is Schrader. And this is the important thing for Frankfort High. They are by no stretch of the imagination anywhere close to being out of this game. Only down 2 goals, but the last thing you want to do right before halftime is have that momentum swing even further in the direction of the Warhawks. And for Great Crossing, that's exactly what they'd like to have happen, and that's what just may happen here. Big time save by Schrader to keep a goal off the board. As coming in, trying to poke that one in was James Crone, I believe number 20, coming in from the left side. Benjamin Schrader putting himself at risk a little bit, but doing exactly what you want your goalkeeper to do, laying out to try to keep the ball out of the net. And with a minute and 10 seconds left, Frankfort High is just going to pile as many bodies as they can forward as William Copeland prepares to take this free kick from almost the center of the field. Here's Beebe using his size to get forward. Beebe still with it. And that'll be a throw as that came off of Lucas Smith, number 7, the right back, or the right winger, I believe. He's kind of playing just down the right channel for Great Crossing. And Warhawks able to close that out and clear it. Now they're trying to move forward, trying to catch Frankfort High on the counter. The through ball that's cleared by Frankfort High as the final seconds of the first half tick down. And Jacob Tracy wisely just letting that one roll out, and that will roll us to the end of the first period. An own goal by Great Crossing to open up the scoring, and then an absolute scorcher from the most acute of angles, as I said, by Ethan Bell. That's the difference in the game as Great Crossing enters halftime 2-0 up on Frankfort High. Stay with us. We've got highlights coming at you on the other side of the break.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Bill McCoy Insurance Agency, celebrating over 48 years in business. With over 15 companies to shop from and collectively over 100 years of experience. Call, visit us, or request quotes on BillMcCoyInsuranceAgency.com.
Hi?
We're looking for insurance.
Oh, let's see who's free. Jerry?
When insurance agents work for only one company, their options are simply limited.
Everybody!
But a trusted choice independent agent is free to shop many companies for a better deal. Free to do what's right for you.
Bill McCoy Insurance Agency, celebrating over 48 years in business. Call, come by, or visit our website for free quotes today.
Game of the Week halftime show is brought to you by Classic Gold. Art-carved class rings are available at Classic Gold Master Jewelers on 859 East Main Street in Frankfort.
Classic Gold Master Jewelers has an amazing selection of jewelry that anyone will love. Classic Gold also provides custom services like pearl restringing, engraving, watch repair, ring resizing, and custom designs. Classic Gold Master Jewelers, 859 East Main Street.
It was a bit of a chess match for about the first 20 minutes, but once the scoring broke, both teams really going after each other. As Great Crossing at the halftime break up 2-0 on Frankfort High in the 41st District Championship. And this is how we got to that in visual form. As Frankfort High attacking the Great Crossing goal, the Panthers starting a little quicker than they did on Tuesday night. Some confusion in the Great Crossing back line, nearly getting Alex Gonzalez in, tried to chip that one over to Humberto, but good goalkeeping that time. And this was a warning shot maybe, as very similar play, as you'll see here in a little bit from both of those highlights. Those kind of portended the future, and this is what we're talking about here as an own goal. Evan Purcell was the one that was running in, and that's why Caleb Tracy had to get his head to it. And that deflection took it off of the foot of Jacob Tracy and into the back of the net. And this one, well, I'm just going to let the picture do the talking here. A dream goal by Ethan Bell. And that is what brings us to our current scoreline. That said, Frankfort High, undaunted, kept pushing for that opening goal for the Panthers as Beebe fouled just outside of the box. And then the cross in, reaching the head of Bryson Cox, not able to get to it. I think he thought he got a little nudge in the back from Purcell there. or excuse me, that was number 13, Ethan Clark, getting the header. Bryson Cox did pick up the yellow for dissent on that, though. 2-0 your score. Still a lot to be decided here. Will Frankfort High get back in this one and defend their title, or will Great Crossing take the 41st District crown? We'll find out. Stay with us. We'll have all the second half action coming up here on Cable 10.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Estate Tree Service. We have a solution for all your tree care needs. Estate Tree Service provides expert tree care and preservation. Call 502-229-5258 for a free estimate.
Yeah, this is Joe. You need a tree removed from your yard? Yeah, I can do that for you.
Don't take a chance on any Joe Schmo. Call Estate Tree Service for all your tree care needs. Since 1957, Estate Tree Service has provided safe, quality tree care at a fair rate. From tree removal and pruning to stump grinding and debris cleanup, we've got you covered. Call the trusted professionals at Estate Tree Service today.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Traditional Bank. When your business is looking to win, with tough competition around every corner, you need high performers backing you up. Traditional Bank's local team will stand by your side as a trusted partner, your friendly neighbor, and your biggest fan. It's time to make the switch. Traditional Bank, member FDIC.
Game of the Week is brought to you by Whitehead Hancock. Whitehead Hancock Plumbing has been serving Frankfort families for more than 100 years. You can trust Whitehead Hancock for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and septic needs. Call them today at 502-227-2213 for 24-hour emergency service, or visit their website at whiteheadhancock.com. Tune in to Around 10, Frankfort's very own morning show. We cover all the happenings in the capital city every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. live on Cable 10, Facebook, and YouTube. Remember, if it happens around town, it's on Around 10.
2-0 your score. Great Crossing on top as we come back for the second half of the championship game of the 41st District Tournament. Great Crossing ahead of Frankfort High. I want to thank you for joining us here on Cable 10. We've had a great time bringing you this tournament this week. Special shout out to all our Cable 10 crew, Zachs. We have 2 Zachs on the crew. I want to thank Todd, Crystal, Brent, Chris, Doug, and David. All of our Cable 10 crew, we've really been psyched to bring this to you. And our replay guru, Doug, enraptured, agog, gobsmacked even, by the beauty of the beautiful game. Mr. VAR himself. Everybody doing a great job, and we've been so happy to bring this to you. And make sure you tune in tomorrow night. The fun does not stop for even a second, even a heartbeat, here on the Game of the Week, as we are going to be down next to the river as Eminence coming to town to take on Frankfort High. We will have that game for you. Clint Goins and Chris Cole, who will be back with you. Sorry he couldn't be here tonight, but he'll be back tomorrow night alongside Clint to bring you some football action of the American variety. Can the Panther faithful go into that game as BB taking a shot from distance on the volley? Can the Panther faithful go into tomorrow night with the wind at their backs after a comeback win in the 41st District Boys Soccer Tournament, or will the Warhawks hold on? We're going to find out here as Zach Hendricks stands over this one over in the Great Crossing goal. Both of these teams, as mentioned, will move on to the 11th Region Tournament. As that one is hoofed out of play by David Rebiotto, the senior, number 12 for the Panthers, who is starting the second half. Here's Noberto. Tried to play it to the feet over there of Ethan Clark, but now Great Crossing on the attack. Here's Lucas Smith, gets the cross in. On its way to Bell, and chipping it over the top is James Crone. You see Smith playing it down that left side, playing the early cross on the turf. The low cross nearly catching Frankfort High out. I think they might have expected that one to come in the air. Didn't even mention that with his goal in the first half. That gives Ethan Bell the season lead for Great Crossing. And that one is going to haunt Tyler Andrews for a while. He was looking at a wide open goal there. He may have been surprised by how open he was. All he had to do was just smash it into the open net, but he hooked it. And unfortunately for him, that's one of those that you don't forget about for a while. But will it have a bearing in the final score? Well, that's for us to decide. Here's Philip Kittrell, number 18, who started the second half as well. And he earns a free kick. Is taken quickly by Coblin. The header goes behind Evan Purcell, and that's going to be a corner for Frankfort High early on in the second half. Here's Bryson Cox lining up. It looks like he has an outswinger in mind here. That one has a little bit of heat on it, but Lucas Smith getting to it first. Chance to break here for Great Crossing, playing over the top to Bell. Tried to knock it around Caleb Tracy, That'll be a throw for Great Crossing over in front of the bleachers, excuse me. It's Alberto trying to find Coblin with that throw, and then he just swings his leg at it, goes high into the night sky here at Western Hills. Here's Ethan Bell. He's already got one tonight. Beats a couple Panthers under the dribble. Tried to lay that into the path of Crone. But some nice heads-up goalkeeping by Benjamin Schrader. Ethan Clark playing that over the top. He had Bryson Cox in space down the left side, but the ball overruns Cox, and now Great Crossing going to try to go the other direction. That play broken up. That one coming off the foot of Tyler Andrews. Both teams coming out of the gate swinging here in the second half. McDaniel goes to ground as come the Warhawks. Ryan Payne trying to play the cross, but coming in to make the last-second intervention is the senior William Coblin. As McDaniels went flying on that. Yeah, Coblin had James Crone alone in front of the goal, and that, or excuse me, Payne had James Crone, and that intervention by Coblin really saved Frankfort High from some real danger. Easy for me to say. Here's Bell. He's been so dangerous, playing right on that touchline. Here's Tyler Andrews here to take the throw all the way to the track. Playing it into the path of Bell. Andrews is going to let that run out, and we shall take another throw. Ball bouncing around a little bit. Those are the kind of moments as a coach that make your heart stop, when the ball just can't seem to find one person's foot in front of your own goal. Here's the cross coming in, getting his head to it and knocking it in for goal number 3 is Ryan Payne. Great Crossing goes to the corner flag and scores. Nice header, positioned perfectly by Ryan Payne. Benjamin Schrader trying to get to it and laying out to get it. And it looked like on the way down, maybe Elijah McDaniel got stepped on. Yeah, that's what we saw, just the foot of Ryan Payne coming down on McDaniel. Ryan Payne looking to make sure that that goal counted, and indeed it did. Great Crossing starting to pull away here, 3-0 over Frankfort High. And the Panthers are falling further and further away from being able to defend their crown in this tournament, as Great Crossing looks to be putting one hand on that trophy. Here's Redmond. Laying it off for Andrews. He's got some space to run down the left side. Andrews crosses it in. Coming up to head it away is Jacob Tracy. And Coblin just has to smash it to get it clear.
It was just such a good shot of it going.
Got a throw for Frankfort High here. And a collision before the throw is even taken. Not sure if it was incidental or what. Players seem to not really know what to make of that. There was a bit of a confusion and both teams just kind of stopped to see what the call was, and the call was not actually made. So we play on. Here's Gonzalez. He was looking for Alberto in space. Here's Redmond. Gets dispossessed by Ethan Clark for Frankfort High. Clark again getting his foot to it. Panthers find themselves in a hole here. Let's take a look at this. I want to see what this looks like in one of those. Yes, the push was there, but also the push was made the most of by the pushee. We'll just put it that way, not use that dreaded F word. Not the one you're thinking of. Come on. It's a professional program here. As BB is asking the question, not getting the response he prefers, and he may have just talked himself into a card, and that's precisely what happened. He will have to take a seat, and maybe a little bit of frustration setting in here for the Panthers. Who's coming on to take his place is going to be Brian Escobar. There's a bit of a collision between BB and Logan Smith, or Lucas Smith, excuse me, and BB just venting his frustration and receiving a card and a seat for his trouble. It's not an argument you're likely to win from the player's side. Here's Clark. Plays it in the midfield to Coblin. Coblin stepping over James Crone for the Warhawks. Coblin still with it. Runs right into Lucas Smith. Just bullying the ball up the field, trying to get anything going for the Panthers here. The great crossing has been rock solid so far tonight. Here's Bell. Scored the second goal in amazing fashion. Bell going up against Jacob Tracy. And I think that's now the matchup that Frankfort High is trying to have on Tracy, because Bell is proving to be as dangerous of an attacker as we've seen in this tournament. And I would say that Jacob Tracy is about as good a defender as we've seen for any team in this tournament. So we take a look at this. Bryson Cox won't want to see that replay back. Here's the first time snap shot by Crone, sailing over the bar. I thought that was Crone. That may have actually been, not sure, it may have been Ryan Payne. So it was Crone. Still a lot of time left. 27 minutes and change. Can the Panthers get their way back into it? Nearly getting the first of the 3 goals. They'll need to do just that as the ball found its way to Alex Gonzalez on a free kick from Coblin. The header came in from Norberto. And that was actually tipped over the bar, apparently. So we've got a corner as Ethan Clark lines up to take this one. Goes to the far post, coming in and scoring from the left side is Jacob Tracy. And the Panthers have a foothold back in this game after a wonderful set-piece goal. All the Panthers pulling that way, and the late man running, the last man for the ball to hit, Jacob Tracy making that run that you're always told to make, and you're always told to make it because one of these days the ball is going to go all the way through there and you'll have a clean shot at goal, and that's exactly what happened. 3-1 your score. The Panthers fighting back. Here's Clark playing it over the top. Momentum starting to swing a little bit in favor of Frankfort as Gonzalez nearly getting to that one, and that will be a corner as the ball went off of Evan Purcell. You see there, number 22. So Frankfort High, having just scored their first goal of the game off the corner, are going to get another one from the opposite side. What do the Panthers do here? As Bryson Cox lines up for it. Bryson puts that into the air. Still with it. There's the shot from distance, forces a save out of Zach Hendricks. A little bit of a tussle there, and Great Crossing earned a free kick and took it quickly, but nothing doing. Frankfort High now has a little bit of momentum for the first time in a while, trying to capitalize again. Here's Ethan Clark, and ball just gives him the Bill Buckner treatment. Fortunately for him, a lot lower stakes, but Clark making up for it, playing it forward. Just over 24 minutes left. Frankfort High getting a goal back from Jacob Tracy off of a corner kick. But the score stands at 3-1. Great Crossing on top. Ball just cleared out that time. I believe that was Danny Gordon who's entered the game for the Panthers. Frankfort High trying to push here. Lucas Smith coming over to just clear that, but running it down for Frankfort High is Gonzalez. He's got some space to operate. Lays it over to Cox, who took a swing at it, but really couldn't get much power behind it. So you see Bryson over there. There's Zach Hendricks lining up and putting his toe behind this one. Reaches the head of Coblin. Frankfort High might have something on here. And nudged out of the way by Coblin was Daniel Hananoa, number 10 for Great Crossing. And I have to hand it to Great Crossing, no disrespect to any of the Frankfort area teams, but this green with blue hoops shirt, by far my favorite of the tournament. Here's the shot from distance, just trying to force the save out of Schrader. Here comes Great Crossing. Now here's Beebe. One of two players for Frankfort High that are playing on a yellow card. So they've got to be careful. All in all, I think the officiating has been very solid for all the games that we've seen. Here's Coblin. That cross is booted out, and Coblin will let it run out for a throw. He'll get another crack at it. Plays it deep, and just too deep for everybody involved. As the whole of everyone watching begs someone on the field to point out to Norberto that his shoelaces are untied. Here's Hananoa. That one taken away by Frankfort High. Both teams taking this moment to get some of their starters some moments of rest before we get into the stretch run of this. We've got just over 20 minutes left in regulation. There's Baby just charging at that back line of Great Crossing, but poked away, and now the Warhawks looking to counter. If you'll remember, last year we were in a similar situation here with Frankfort High having to get something moving towards goal to take down Great Crossing. They were successful that time. Can they duplicate the feat down 3-1 with under 20 minutes left? We will see. Or will Great Crossing hold on and make it 2 crowns that they take home this evening? Of course, the girls winning earlier against Franklin County 9-0. We've got a collision here on the near side, and that was Norberto coming in and catching the back of John Redmond. Norberto, one of those 2 creative players that Frankfort High has really been trying to catch out in some space, and Great Crossing has been aware of that and was really just trying to force that Frankfort High midfield to play further and further back, as we see no lack of spirit on the side of the Frankfort High fans. They've come out here even through the somewhat less than ideal weather. I'm not sure if it's still raining out there or not, as we've got a player down. I think that was Hananoa. Maybe took a stray foot to the midsection. And he is down, and we are going to stop play as Hananoa apparently caught a ball right into the bread basket. Looks like he's up, but he'll need a second to kind of put all the pieces back together, so to speak. Here's Crone. Here's Tracy, the goal scorer for Frankfort High, coming back. It's nice to see Jacob Tracy get a goal after the scoring for Great Crossing opened up with a Jacob Tracy own goal, which was just kind of an unfortunate deflection on his part. So he's managed to pull that one back and pull his team back with a hope of taking this one. Ball just did not fall kindly for the Panthers there, and now the Panthers on the defense. Cox just trying to hook it forward. 17 minutes left. Frankfort High needs a couple goals here to take this one into extra time. Here's Gonzalez. He's got a couple goals already in this tournament. Frankfort High will have a throw fairly deep into the Great Crossing side of the field. Gonzalez just trying to punch it out, and that'll be a throw as it did not go on the left side of the corner. Here's Beebe. Turn and snap shot, but right into the feet of the Panthers, and that follow shot, I believe that was Coblin coming in, trying to place it, but just not getting enough power to really trouble the goalkeeper. As you see Jacob Tracy there. Clark chips it up top, looking for Bryson Cox on the left side. "15 minutes left in this one. Great Crossing with the hand on the trophy. What is Frankfort High willing to risk in terms of putting bodies forward in order to try to claw back this deficit? Here's Gonzalez. Gets by one defender, gets by a second, still with it. Gonzalez still with it, nearly scything his way all the way through the Great Crossing midfield and defense. Now it looks like it might have gone out from a corner. Let's take a look at this. Some amazing footwork, never say die attitude. And we've got a corner coming in. Corner on the near post, nearly had the same situation where it flew all the way through the mass of players. This time Great Crossing able to clear the danger. Here's the shot from distance, taking a bounce, and a bit of a, well, you want your keeper to manage the time. I don't know that you want him to be that non-subtle about it. And now Great Crossing starting to play a little bit of time management here, but as soon as I say that, they cross the ball in front of goal. Looked like for a second that the Warhawks were going to try to do the old thing of pinning the ball in the corner, but maybe the strategy behind that, as you see here, a fantastic step over by Cash Bourget. Maybe the strategy was to try to play possum a little bit, see if they can expose Frankfort High's need to get the ball and move forward. Here's Bebe, powerful run through, still with it. Bebe crosses it over. He had Gonzalez unmarked on the far post, but nice job of Zach Hendricks to step over and smother that one. Clock becoming a factor now, 12 minutes and change left. We're going to get some substitutes in for Great Crossing, as it looks like Ethan Bell coming back in. Maybe getting some of the starters back in for the stretch run. Here's Crone, has it knocked away from him by William Coblin. Frankfort High pushing for that second. And the Panthers will get a goal kick here. It's been difficult for Frankfort High, and we've seen a little bit of that in the first game as well against Franklin County. At times, Frankfort High having a little bit of difficulty with just this part, being able to make that transition from the midfield to the forward players. And that'll be a throw for Great Crossing. Gonna have a substitution come in, I believe. Ethan Bell coming off as Lucas Smith, who I've taken to calling Logan for reasons I cannot explain. Coming on, and maybe Great Crossing just trying to shore things up a little bit. But coming in and nearly poking the ball into the net there was Ryan Payne, after Thomas Smith circumnavigated the Panther-filled sea there. I hope you'll forgive me for my malapropism there of the word circumnavigated. It's been a long week, but it's been a fun week. Almost hate to see it end. But you know what? I got a secret for you. It's not ending. We've got football for you tomorrow night. Make sure you tune in. Eminence coming to Frankfort High. That'll be Clint Goins and Chris Cole, who unfortunately cannot be with us tonight, but it was great working with him for the first 2 nights of this tournament. But they will be with you tomorrow night, so make sure you tune in, as that shot from distance able to be wrapped up by Schrader. And then a couple of weeks, we're going to have the 41st District Volleyball Tournament, and that's going to be a lot of fun. And it's such a privilege and such a pleasure to be able to bring you all the sports here at the 41st District. And one thing I'll say, not to get too far on a tangent, but that game that we had Tuesday night between Frankfort High and Franklin County was a heartbreaker for Franklin County, as Frankfort High won that in overtime. But one of the things I saw as we were wrapping things up here from our broadcast positions, and I think it really speaks to the spirit of the camaraderie between all of the schools here, really, is the entire time I was seeing Frankfort High and Franklin County players who've grown up together, have grown up around each other and are friends, just congratulating and consoling each other and really just showing a lot of good spirit between the two. And that's what I think makes all the sports in our area so special. It was really nice to see, and it's a privilege to be able to bring you the on-field action that we see here. So, and we appreciate you tuning in, whether you're watching us on cable or you're watching us on YouTube. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight. And make sure you stay with us after the game. We've got the play of the game, and then we've got some highlights, and then we will put a bow on what's been a great 41st District tournament on both the boys and girls side. Here's Gonzalez just straying offside. Just a little bit too eager to get that second goal on the board, and you can see why, because the time is ticking down. Just under 7 minutes left. Frankfort High is going to do it. They've got to do it now. Great crossing. Nearly home with the 41st District crown. Here's Gonzalez. Still with it. Still with it. Tried to chip it up. Just really couldn't get his foot under it. But here's Cox. They've got a chance. He tests the keeper, and Zach Hendricks again rather theatrically securing the ball. But that's the kind of thing you want your goalkeeper to do. It's a little bit of gamesmanship, sure, but it's part of the game, and it's what you would call game savvy, I think. And just offside that time was number 19, Thomas Smith. And we'll get a substitution in as Houston Hancock, number 21, coming in, the sophomore for Frankfort High. Saw another Panther, David Rebiato, coming on as well. I hope I'm getting that pronunciation right. There's a back heel from Gonzalez. Bebe. That one played on the turf by Coblin. And coming up to wrap that one up is Schrader. We've got a player down. One of the captains for Frankfort High. I haven't seen a number yet. Not something you want to see as the Panthers are trying anything to claw their way back into this one, and never want to see a player go to the turf. It looks like they're grabbing the ankle here. We're probably going to see what happens, as that's William Coblin. And you could tell right there, just took a bad step, and that looked really painful. He's having his left ankle attended to at the moment, and he's been such a rock for this Frankfort High team in this whole tournament. Again, he was the one that was responsible for playing the ball in to the feet of Alex Gonzalez that led to that outside of the foot goal that won the game for Frankfort High against Franklin County. And unfortunately, he's going to have to come off here with 4 minutes and 36 seconds left. 3-1 the score. The Panthers looking less and less likely to be able to get back into level terms with Great Crossing. As Coblin is going to have to walk off. Looks like he's able to put some weight on it, which is a good sign, but hate to see him get hurt because Frankfort High has at least one more game left to play, and they'll have some business to attend to in the 41st district, excuse me, the 11th region tournament, which is coming up. Both these teams will take part. As it stands, Great Crossing will be going into the top half of the bracket of that tournament. Frankfort High slipping in at the bottom, but it's such a competitive tournament year upon year, and crazy things can happen. So definitely a lot to play for both of these teams, and we'll definitely be rooting for our 41st district tournaments in the 11th region. Here's Liberto, nearly got a foot to it. That one's going to be played out by Purcell for a throw. 4 minutes left. Time running out for Frankfort High. Great Crossing nearly home. Here comes the throw from Houston Hancock, getting part of his body to it to just nudge it towards goal was Bebe. But no real power behind that. And the margins get smaller for the Panthers. Great Crossing. It's really looking to keep the play in front of them here to try to get home with the championship. Frankfort High, the defending champions, looking like they are going to go down to the Warhawks tonight. And Great Crossing has had to earn this one. They had a tough game against Western Hills and another tough game tonight. But they've been value for money and will be deserving champions, no doubt. So it'll be interesting to see who the all-tournament team ends up being for this team. And Great Crossing, the Warhawk fans will have another championship to take back to Scott County. As just a reminder, the girls taking the championship against Franklin County earlier this evening. 2 minutes left. Last-ditch saloon time for Frankfort High. And taking a tumble all the way over to his own bench that time as Elijah McDaniel. He had a little help on that too, I imagine. See the replay here. And I think just edged off of the ball that time by Tyler Andrews. And Andrews did kind of put his arm out there and looked pretty clear, but everybody's back up and playing, and it's not going to have much relevance in the final score as it stands. And here is Ethan Bell. Remember, he had that incredible, fantastic, in honor of our broadcast partner here, Chris Cole, tremendous goal. In the first half. We're talking about plays of the game coming up as soon as we're done with this one, and I think that one would have to get my vote. It's Frankfort High just bringing everybody forward, but it would take a miracle at this point. With 30 seconds left. And that one just booted into space. into open space on the turf, I should say. And great crossing pushing forward. And here's the shot. And with 6 seconds left, I think we're gonna get a penalty here, and really Beebe just kind of left them no choice. The first tackle wasn't called. I think the official was gonna let that go, but he went in for a second bite, and that's what got him. Let's take a look at the replay. Not the way that Frankfort High would want this game to end, as Thomas Smith just kept putting the pressure on, as that came off of a spilled clearance by Benjamin Schrader from that long distance shot. John Redmond, number 5, I believe that's who that is, lining up to take the penalty kick with 3 seconds left to just sort of add insult to injury, and he chips it through the uprights. And that may have been a little bit of just not wanting to rub salt in the wound, I'm not sure. In any event, that'll do it for the 41st District Boys Championship, as Great Crossing knocks off the defending champion Frankfort High Panthers, and they will take home the crown as the 41st District champion. Both of these teams will go on to play in the 11th Region Tournament, but Great Crossing taking home the honors tonight with a 3-1 victory over Frankfort High. Stay with us for a play of the game highlights, and we will put a bow on this tournament for you. You're watching the 41st District Boys Soccer Championship here on Cable 10.
The Game of the Week Play of the Game is brought to you by Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher. Choose local realtors that treat you like family, because real estate is what they do and families are why they do it.
It's all over if they hit this field goal.
Buying or selling a home can be as exciting as winning the big game on a last-second field goal. Or it can be just as devastating if the kick doesn't go in.
And the kick goes up, and it's no good. Home team loses.
That's why in real estate it always helps to be on a winning team. Choose Tim and Rebecca Hubbard with Exit Realty Crutcher.
Real estate is what we do.
And families are why we do it.
Wait, how'd you get in here?
The 41st District Boys Tournament has come to a close with Great Crossing coming out victorious 3-1 over Frankfort High. And now it's time for our play of the game. And if you've watched this game at all so far, there's really no question of what it was going to be. Ethan Bell, number 9 for Great Crossing, doing the history of the number 9 shirt in this sport justice. Gets past Tracy and Ethan Clark, and this is just special. Sneaks it just inside the right post around the keeper. That is your play of the game. That was the second goal for Great Crossing. They would go on to put through another. Frankfort High pulled one back, but Great Crossing outlasting the Panthers 3-1, and they will be your 41st District champions. And that brings our coverage of the 41st District to a close, as we're gonna see some highlights from this one. A great game apropos of this tournament. Great Crossing, the boys and girls champions of the 41st District, so congratulations to the Warhawks and the Warhawk faithful, all the teams. Congratulations for putting on great performances and giving it their all. And also giving it their all this entire tournament. Our Cable 10 crew, Zach, the other Zach, Todd, Crystal, Brent, my broadcast partner, Chris Cole, who will be back with you tomorrow night for football with Clint Goins down at next to the river, Frankfort High versus Eminence. And we want to give a big shout out to David Columbia and Doug Crow for helping us steer the ship. And I want to thank you all for watching. I'm John Piesheimer. So long from Western Hills.
Yes,
41st District Boys All-Tournament Team. From Western Hills, Daniel Zelaya. Also from Western Hills, Carson Wallace. From Franklin County, Seth Tucker. Also from Franklin County, Everson Rodriguez. From Frankfort High, Alex Gonzalez. Also from Frankfort High, Ben Schrader. Also from Frankfort High, Jacob Tracy. From Great Crossing, Zach Hendricks. Also from Great Crossing, Evan Purcell. Also from Great Crossing, James Crone. And your 2023 41st District MVP, Ethan Bell. And the runner-up of the 2023 41st District Boys Soccer Tournament, the Frankfort High Panthers. And the champions of the 2023 41st District Boys Soccer Tournament, the Great Crossing Warhawks.